What is the best training style for muscle growth?
Well, hypertrophy training would be the best training for hypertrophy, funnily enough. And that would be heavy resistance training, low reps, low sets, low volume, big weights.
How many times a week should a woman, for example, train?
3 to 4 times, the same as anybody else, and never on consecutive days. You don't need body splits either. You do a whole body split every time, whether you're a woman or a man, until you are an advanced hypertrophy athlete.
Any other type of training that is optimal for human being?
High intensity burst and repeat training is great. And if you want incidental exercise, then that should be very low intensity, like walking. The whole bit in the middle, the whole so-called, endurance training, aerobic training, they call it, some people, whatever. That's the bit you need to absolutely avoid, actually. That's not good for you.
Yeah, I can feel it. I was one of, a lot of girls that just want to lose weight, and so they do a lot of cardio. Well, then never works.
Of course it doesn't work.
So why, from a hormonal perspective, that doesn't work?
Well, I mean, you could say from a hormonal perspective, but just at large, there are a myriad of reasons why endurance training, cardio training, that kind of training is not great for fat loss. Number one, most of that training at the time that you're doing it will be subserved by carbohydrate oxidation and not by fat oxidation per se so much. Secondly, it tends to make you feel hungry. Ergo, eat more. The elevation in your metabolic rate really only lasts 25 to 30 minutes at maximum beyond the actual exercise period and doesn't start until you start exercising. So it's a short-term thing. There's just nothing to commend it, basically. And in terms of, hormones and all of that kind of stuff, I mean, that could be a whole can of worms, couldn't it?
Is there anything in particular that happens hormonally in your body while you're doing that type of cardio?
Well, what are you referring to?
For example, like cortisol, stress, or stuff like that.
Right. Well, a lot of people refer to cortisol as a stress hormone.
Yeah.
That's just a label. It's just a hormone. Sure, it has roles in the body. It's around when there is stress on the body, but stress isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Depending on
Distress is a bad thing, i.e. a stress response that is too long-lived or too high in its magnitude or whatever else. But this whole idea that cortisol is universally a bad thing and should be avoided, I don't buy it. Because, I mean, no stress is dead, isn't it?
Yes.
You don't want no stress. You want some.
Yes. Fasting, for example, that's a stress for your body? Is it a good stress or a bad stress?
Well, who's to say fasting is in fact a stress? Again, that's a label that's been applied to it. It might be stress. It might be perceived as stressful by the person because maybe they're addicted to carbohydrates, for example. And, oh God, I'm hungry. This fasting thing's difficult. This is stressful. But is their body actually under stress? Well, maybe until the ketogenic process builds up as it will in that case. Maybe until they grow enough enzyme to be able to more effectively oxidize fat, perhaps. But again, a short-term period of stress is fine, so long as it doesn't become a long-term period of stress, which then you'd have to define as distress.
Okay, because I see a lot of women coaches online that they say fasting is bad for women compared to men because we have different hormone cycle throughout the month.
Right. Well, people that want to say that, I would suggest to them that they back that up with something. Fasting is bad for women. Okay, well, what's your source for that?
I don't know.
Exactly. They don't either. They're just repeating what they've heard
somewhere
somewhere else.
On like the cortisol, it's high in the morning, so you want to keep it low, so you need to eat a little bit.
Again, same argument, isn't it? Cortisol is bad necessarily? No.
So men and women can fast the same exact way.
Absolutely. See, the thing is, a person either it's indicated that a person fast or not, case by case, and gender has very little to do with it. Very little. It's one of the things that comes into consideration a bit on an individual picture about a person's health status individually. But the things that determine for me when I'm consulting with folks that there might be a good idea for them to do fasting, none of those things have anything to do with their gender.
Mm-hmm. So who should not fast?
Someone who is already badly underweight, they should not fast. Someone with poorly controlled type 1 diabetes mellitus should not fast, for example. I don't know. There are other things there that
Pregnant women.
Pregnant women probably shouldn't fast, at least for extended periods. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one that does relate to your gender. I'm sorry to be a bigot, but only women can get pregnant.
Yes, I agree with that.
Well, there you go. That's us cancelled.
So you think everybody should fast for at least 24 hours a day?
No.
Like just having one meal a day, it's optimal? Or
Oh, right, I see what you mean. Right. Yes, I think that one meal a day is optimal for human beings.
Mhm.
This whole idea that we need to eat multiple times a day, who on earth came up with that idea? And what was the basis of that? Again, what's the source?
Mhm.
Where did that come from?
And we should eat all of our protein during that.
Well, yeah, because if you're eating once a day, you're eating all of your everything in one meal, aren't you?
What if someone generally cannot consume all of that food in only one meal?
Well, there are a number of reasons why a person might not be able to do what is ideal. Maybe they are very badly damaged by their life hitherto and other things that have been going on, sure. In which case, I would suggest that a person get as close as they possibly can and continue to work towards that which is optimal in a progressive way. Of course, all my commentary for a general audience needs to be generalized, and the generalized advice is what is ideal for the average person.
Should we do one meal a day every single day, or do you recommend fasting for even like an extended period of time?
Again, extended fasting beyond just eating once a day, that depends case by case on what is presented, as in what is going on for that person.
So it's usually for people that have they need to lose weight, or they have
okay a person right so a person who is obese, a person who has autoimmune issues, they are two indications that might lead to a suggestion that they might want to try some fasting to see what happens with that. There are others as well, but that's just two off the top of my head quickly.
Do you think people should just jump into fasting? Like
depends on what period of time we're talking about.
Let's say one meal a day. If they're on a standard,
yes, they should go to they should go to that. Yep. If you need to ramp down, if you can't cope, fine. But most people can go straight to one meal a day and be okay.
So, for example, I see in the carnivore community a lot of coaches that they say that people should do something that's called priming to begin with for 2 or 3 weeks, which is like eating as much as they can 2 or 3 times a day to feel like very full and satiated, and then they can jump into fasting later.
Sure. Yeah, I did a period of priming myself. It was first proposed by a friend of mine called Coach Raymond Nazen, and the idea being that the priming makes sure that a person has all the macro and micronutrients on board that a human being needs, because a lot of people come from a place of destitution of nutrient despite an overplus of food, because it's the wrong kind of food that people are eating in general. So that's what the priming is all about. It's about making sure you've got everything on board, and eating that much food is actually, a lot of people think, hey, I can eat all the food I like. That's great. That's awesome. No, it's not awesome. It's really uncomfortable and it's really unpleasant to eat that much food. It's horrible. It's supposed to be a 2-week period. And after 1 week, I always go back to Raymond saying, can I please stop this now? This is awful. And, I know it's not that way, but it felt to me at the time like if I never see food ever again in my life, that'd be just fine. So it makes the fasting easier in terms of, God, I don't want any more
It's
food.
not like
Yeah.
100% necessary to start with that.
No, it's not 100% necessary. It's just one tool that's available in the toolbox.
Would you think is better for people to start with that and then transition into fasting?
Case by case.
Case by case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's case by case a bit. Yeah.
Give me an example of the two different cases.
Wow. A person who is really showing signs of autoimmune dysfunction,
Mhm.
I probably would suggest that they try the priming thing before getting into the fasting. A person who is already heavily obese, I probably wouldn't suggest the priming to.
Mhm.
There's just two off the top of my head. There are others as well, but